Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived two young unicorns named Luna and Orion. They spent their days frolicking through flower-filled meadows and racing each other across rainbow-colored streams. One sunny morning, Luna and Orion were playing in their favorite willow tree when they noticed a piece of parchment stuck between two branches. "What's this?" Orion said as he pulled the parchment free with his horn. Luna peered over his shoulder as Orion unrolled the scroll. It was a treasure map. X marked the spot where untold riches were waiting to be discovered. "Let's go find the treasure," Luna exclaimed. The excited unicorns rushed to tell their parents and get permission for the quest. Their parents agreed they were old enough for an adventure as long as they stayed together and came home before sunset. With the map tucked safely away, Luna and Orion headed out on their journey. They trotted through the village and into the forest beyond. Following the map, they turned left at the babbling brook and right at the giant pine tree. Soon, they arrived at the base of Mount Magix, a towering peak that disappeared into the clouds. "According to the map, we need to pass through the crystal caves," said Luna. Mount Magix was riddled with a network of caves, but only the crystal caves would lead them to the treasure. At the mouth of the cave stood a sign that read, "Choose wisely or choose not. The right choice reveals, the wrong one does not." Luna and Orion peered into each cave in turn. The blue crystals reflected sapphire light on the walls. The purple glowed amethyst, while the red cast a ruby radiance. "Let's try the purple cave," Luna declared. "Purple is the color of royalty and treasure." Orion agreed, so they ventured into the violet-lit cavern. As they walked, crystals jutted out from the walls in jagged points. Stalactites hung from the ceiling like dangling daggers. Luna and Orion took care not to brush against the sharp gems. The tunnel twisted and turned until finally they emerged into a massive glittering geode at the heart of Mount Magix. "The treasure!" Luna exclaimed. Her voice echoed around the cavernous space. Sure enough, a golden chest sat in the middle of the geode, brimming with rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. The unicorns rushed over to inspect their prize. As Orion nosed open the chest, sunlight streaming through an opening in the geode's ceiling illuminated the gems in dazzling brilliance. "Wow, look at all these jewels," said Orion, pulling out necklaces, rings, and crowns encrusted with vibrant stones. Luna sifted through mountains of glittering coins before discovering an intricately decorated amulet at the bottom of the chest. An amethyst unicorn adorned the center of the golden amulet, matching the purple cave perfectly. "This must be what the map led us to," Luna declared. "The sign told us to choose correctly, so this amulet clearly belongs to unicorns like us." Orion agreed and happily added the cache of crown jewels to their loot. Their quest was a success. Their saddlebags overflowing with jewels, Luna and Orion headed out of the caves. They blinked against the bright sunlight when they emerged back at the base of Mount Magix. Checking the position of the sun, they saw it was late afternoon. "We'd better start for home," said Luna. We promise to be back before sunset." With full saddlebags, the treasure map had led them to riches beyond their wildest dreams. Their village would marvel at the jewels from the quest. The unicorns set off down the mountain trail as the sun inched towards the horizon. Luna and Orion retraced their steps through the forest and across the meadows. As the sun dipped low in the sky, they trotted into town just as dusk settled. Lights twinkled to life as unicorns wandered home from a day's work. Luna and Orion reunited with their parents and showed off their discovered treasure, including the magical amethyst amulet. "You found the legendary unicorn treasure," their parents exclaimed. For generations, unicorns had searched for the mythical stash. Luna and Orion beamed with pride at their quest's success. That night, they feasted on stardust cakes and moonberry pie while planning their next adventure. But those tales would have to wait for another day. Once upon a time there was a young girl named Sally who loved exploring the forest near her home. One sunny day, Sally decided to go on an adventure into a part of the woods she had never been before. As Sally skipped down the winding forest path, she breathed in the fresh air and listened to the birds chirping in the treetops. She waved to the fuzzy squirrels gathering acorns and paused to watch a line of busy ants carrying crumbs across the trail. Sally was having so much fun adventuring that she didn't realize how far she had wandered from home. After walking for what felt like hours, Sally realized with a jolt that she was lost. The pleasant dirt path had given way to a dark tangle of underbrush. The tree trunks looked twisted and creepy, nothing like the friendly woods she was used to. Sally gulped and turned around in a circle, but could not remember which way she had come from. "Oh no," she cried. "How will I ever find my way home?" Sally tried not to panic. She knew if she wanted to get back home, she needed to make the right choices. Taking a deep breath, Sally studied the two paths in front of her. One trail seemed brighter and more open, while the other disappeared into gloomy shadows. Remembering what her parents had taught her about forests, Sally chose the wider, lighter trail. "I'll get home if I follow the path with more sunlight," she said to reassure herself. As Sally walked briskly down the sunlit trail, she began recognizing some of the plants and trees. The familiar sights comforted her, even though she did not know exactly where she was yet. Sally came upon a gurgling stream crossing her path. She stopped for a drink of the refreshing water and considered whether to wade across or walk alongside the bank. Suddenly, she spotted a line of pebbles creating a bridge across the stream. "Aha, I'll cross here," Sally cried. Using the rocks, she made it safely to the other side. After crossing the stream, the path started to look more and more familiar to Sally. She picked up her pace, hoping she was getting close to the edge of the forest. Just then, a huge fallen tree blocked Sally's way. She walked around the tangle of branches and saw an opening in the underbrush just beyond. Sally squeezed through the gap, pushing aside leaves and twigs. On the other side, she blinked in the sudden sunlight. To her delight, Sally had reached the meadow on the edge of the forest, just a short walk from her house. "Hooray, I made it!" Sally shouted. She danced with joy at having found her way through the unfamiliar, scary parts of the forest all by herself. From now on, Sally thought, I'll be more careful when exploring so I don't get lost. But I'll never stop having adventures. Sally skipped all the way home, excited to tell her family about how she faced her fears and made it out of the woods thanks to remembering the rules of forest safety. She was especially proud that she remained calm and made good choices, even when she was scared and lost. It had been a day full of fun and learning.